Howdy Marty, welcome to another video, and welcome to my 2026 What's in My Pack video. So, hey, look, there's already a nice fire going here for me. Gotta love it. Just went for a little hike, well, about 500 feet from our house down to my bushcraft area in the corner of our property. And yeah, so I'm gonna show you what I carry in my pack, pretty much my all-around day pack. So yeah, just kind of fun to do this every year and just share ideas and thoughts and stuff. And yeah, so let's sit down and enjoy the fire, and I'll show you what I carry in my pack. Okay. Oh, whoa, let's do it in the fire. Okay. So, almost have my cot back too far, but can you guys see me? It's crooked. Ah, well, I'm a little crooked anyway. I gotta love it. Oh, nice fire going here. Okay, pack, you gotta give me a little room here. Okay, yeah, and we'll keep stoking the fire here as we're going through the video here. I'm going to try to keep it under half hour. We'll see. You know me. That's kind of a joke, right? Now, let's see here. That'll work. Kinda, sorta. Okay, so gosh, I think this is my third or fourth video since I've been home. I got home last Friday or so. Is it Friday or Saturday? No, I think it was Saturday. I think I got home Saturday. Today is Wednesday. I'll probably go out tomorrow or Friday, not sure yet. But yeah, just enjoying my home time and finally warmed up. I think I already said that in another video, but you know, for most of January it was like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 below zero. Today it's almost 40. It's been 30 since I got home, and it's going to be 40s this week, and most of the rest of all this week, and then close to 50 by Sunday. Crazy. Almost too warm for me, but yeah, it was way below normal for Minnesota in January, and now it's above normal. But yeah, pretty light winter, but that's okay. I'm not crazy about the ice and snow. I do like it cool though, and had a little campfire this morning. Worked in my shop for a while, and then came out and had a campfire. Now I just did some painting in our bathroom and letting the first coat dry, so I thought I'd do another video and have another campfire. And then when my wife gets home, she's at Bible study. When she gets home, we're gonna have another campfire, so it'll be 3 in one day, which is good because I haven't had one from like, last time was before Christmas. I've been aching for campfire, so 3 in one day is good. Anyway, gotta get a little fire going here. I brought my pack down here to my little bushcraft area. Oh, what a gorgeous day. It's not even windy, just beautiful. So I got a nice fire going here. I'm going to show you what I have in my pack. So I have my pack, and then I have some other options. And yeah, I'm just going to go through it quick. I'm going to try to make it quicker than the last couple years. If you want to know any more details on the things I carry in my pack, you can just ask me, and I could do a special video on that or whatever. Couple things before I start. I am not perfect. I am far from perfect. I'm always learning. I'm always growing. I'm an amateur at everything. As far as you know, what, yeah, I consider myself a outdoorsman, you know, but I'm just learning. I just enjoy the outdoors. I'm not perfect at anything, and you know, I like hiking. I like bushcraft. I like backpacking, I like camping, outdoor adventures, a little bit of fishing, not really into hunting, but someday maybe. But I just like enjoying the outdoors. And, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, you're not a backpacker, you're not a hiker if you don't have a big, huge pack with all the expensive gear, or a lightweight pack with all the best gear and stuff. And just you be you, do what you like. I'm unique and different. You're going to see that in my pack. But yeah, I'm not lightweight at all. I'm not expensive at all either. And I'm not a long distance hiker. Or yeah, I go for very short hikes. If I'm out on the road trucking, working on the road, if I can get a short little hike in whenever I can, I love it. My wife and I go for short hikes. Yesterday we did a couple. I think total we did 2 hikes, and I think it was maybe a mile total. And we like short hikes, and yeah, I like short hikes. I like you know, I like packs and pouches and gear and stuff. I like DIY stuff. I like getting thrifty stuff. And you know, this is a nicer pack, but I got a really good deal on it. And yeah, so I have a couple of decent packs, but they're like clearance and, you know, half off. Otherwise, they're really cheap packs and ones I got at truck stops and military surplus and things like that. Just good deals. I don't have extra money to spend on any hobbies, so it's all thrifty stuff, but it's neat and I enjoy it. So it's a little bit heavier than other people would say, and I like everything in kits, or most of it. I have like 8 kits in my backpack, you know, and I just like it organized. And I like pouches, and I like military surplus. You're gonna see a whole bunch of different camos. I like different camos. It's just kind of fun. Well, I got, what is this shirt here? This is multicam, and then I got this kind of outdoorsy color here. This is like OD green or Ranger green or whatever. I got a whole bunch of different ones in there. It's just fun having different kits and pouches and all the different stuff. It's a little bit heavier, but again, I go on really short hikes, so I don't care. But actually, it's not bad. This pack, and I've had a little day pack, and I just gave that away. I passed it on to help somebody else get into walking and hiking. But I had a small day pack, and then I had this was my medium one, and then I have a bigger one, and I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm just gonna have 1 pack. Maybe this is a little heavy for summer, maybe it's whatever, but I like it. I like having everything I need in there for a day hike, to go out and make a coffee or cook in the woods or cook outside, or even someday if my wife and I would do an overnight or camp or different things like that. And also for emergencies and for survival. No, this isn't a survival kit. It's just a fun pack, you know, just to have fun in the outdoors. That's what I like. But it has everything to survive in there. You could probably live a week or a month in the woods with everything I have in here. So this one's about 25 pounds, but that includes water and some snacks and emergency meals and some fuel. So that's not bad, actually. And it feels great on my back. I love going for a hike and putting my pack on. I've got in the habit of wearing it every time I go for a walk. I try to go for a walk every morning and a walk every evening when I can, and I put my pack on, and it just feels great. So that's just a few things. I have a variety of camos. I'm just going to share some things I've learned, tips, ideas, thoughts, and I'm going to show you some other options that I could put on this pack. And yeah, again, this is just to give you ideas and get you thinking. There's a lot of people are better at backpacks and survival stuff and knowing what to have and all that stuff. I've learned a lot of things, and I have everything I want and I feel I need. I have the 10 essentials in here. I have the 10 C's in here. You know, I have that and much more. And yet it's still not real heavy and real, you know, it feels good to carry. So I'm just going to show you everything. I'm not going to show you everything in all the kits. I'm just going to tell you. I've done videos before. A little smoke going on here. You know, if you want to see more, I can do that. I think what I'll try to do is I'll put everything that's in my pack in the description of this video, okay? And yeah, so I'm just gonna start and try to keep this not too long. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. Okay, so my pack here, I'll move forward a little bit here because my shelter is kind of poking me in the back. Okay, so I think I'll just put everything over here. Boys, woo, smoky. Smoke gets in your eyes. So, what this is, and I'm not sponsored by anybody. Nobody gives me anything. I buy everything. But I like the 511 tactical stuff, and I got a couple of other packs, you know, good deals on them and stuff. So, but this is a 511 Tactical Rush 24. They have a lot of different backpacks and gear and stuff, but they have a 12, a 24, and a 72. Basically, the 12 is, and that's the small one I had that I gave away. Basically, that's good for 12 hours. It's kind of like, these are like military packs. These are tactical packs. They're like for military, law enforcement. I just like these with all the molly and stuff. I just like it. Even though I have everything in kits, I still like all the molly. in the Pals webbing stuff, because you can hook things on here, and there's really just a big dump pouch and then 2 pockets, which is perfect, I think. But yeah, this is so the 12 is for 12 hours, like a half day. 24 is like for an overnight. 72 is for like a weekend or a 3-day. This is a 24, and it's a 37 liter, and it's built really good, and I just like it. It's a good all-around pack, and I like different camos, but I basically like OD green or Ranger green is kind of my favorite. It doesn't look too military, but it blends in the woods, and I just like it. I like all the other ones too, but yeah. So okay, I'm gonna put it back here so it doesn't catch fire. It's a hot fire. I'll let it just start to die down a little bit. Nice fire though. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the pouches here. So there's basically an admin pouch here, and then the smaller one here, and then the big dump area. So I'll start here, and I got a couple patches on here. I have this one is a scripture one. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. And I think I've said before, I have it on my pack. I have a little plaque that my wife gave me in my truck, and I have a notebook, which I have in here, that my friend Frankie made for me, and I have the scripture on all 3 of them, so it's kind of neat. And then I have a flag here, and then I have a little red first aid little thing here. That lets you know my first aid kit is in here, and it has a large red, cross on it, like that one. Like if I got hurt or something and somebody needed to find it to help me or whatever. So I'm not going to take everything out of as far as the little things, but I'll tell you what's in here. So these pockets here, they're kind of weird. I like it on the 12 and the 72 better because it's one pocket that opens this way. These are 2 individual ones, and they open sideways. Kind of weird. I don't like that because I don't like things to fall out. Plus, I have a few long things in here, but I modified it. I took a knife and I cut the inside so things go all the way through, because I have a couple of longer things in here. But yeah, so these open up. So basically in here, what I have is, for this here is stuff that I would use often that I want to get to quick. So in here I have a compass. Well, I guess I could take some of this out. I have a compass. I have just a toggle here, and I use this. I actually have a piece of paracord in my pocket. I always have like 10-20 feet of paracord in my pocket. Well, okay, before we go any further, I have gear in my pockets all the time. In my pockets all the time. I don't care if I'm just going to the bathroom, I'll have this in my pocket most of the time. I have my keys. I have my wallet. I have my phone, unless I'm using it. Right now I'm using it. I'll have a pocket knife or a carver knife. I'll have a multi-tool. I'll have a pen and a notebook, a bandana, a flashlight, a lighter, a ferro rod, and 10-20 feet of paracord. Sometimes I'll have some other things. A whistle is on my keychain, and another little flashlight. So that stuff's always on me. And I always keep paracord on me for if I'm hiking and I have my pack on my back, and I want to set up camp or just stop for a break. I don't like to sit my pack on the ground. It might be dirty, buggy, wet, snowy, ice, dirty, whatever. So I'll hang it on a tree. Yeah, you can just hang it on a branch. Yeah, you can use a bungee or whatever, but I just have a piece of paracord, wrap it around the tree, put a toggle through, and you can just pick up a stick, but I carve toggles. They're just kind of fun, so I just keep one in here. So this works perfect for it. Put the toggle, and it's a marlin spike, I think it is, on the tree, and then you can hang your pack on the tree, and you can open it and get to it, so this is kind of fun. I like to have that on there. And then in here I have a notepad in here, and then I have a little pack of first aid, I guess you'd say. This isn't my med kit. I have a bigger one of that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But this has Tylenol, Ibuprofen, Pepcid, Benadryl, Nyquil, Bandages, just some quick first aid stuff right there, easy to get to. And then I have, what's this? Oh, this is a little alarm. No, is this pepper spray? I thought it was an alarm. No, this is a little mini pepper spray. So I have that in there. Then I have, let's see here, and it's got little pockets. There's all kinds of pockets in these packs, which is good. but at the same time, you can't use them all. Okay, there's all these pockets and zipper things, and we can't use them all or it'll just be too full and too bulky. It takes away space on the inside if you fill all the pockets. So I don't use all the pockets. But yeah, so then I have a ferro rod here. You also see there's a lot of redundancy, especially in how to start a fire and water, those two things. So I got a ferro rod. If you want, you can count and put it in the comments how many I have of different things. You need something fun to do. Then I have a fingernail clipper. Okay, then I have a lighter wrapped in duct tape. 2 ways to start a fire ready right there. I just got started here. Then I got some of my Marty's Rambling stickers, because you never know if somebody on the trail and they recognize me. Yeah, right. Okay, a little mini bottle of hand sanitizer. So it's good for cleaning your hands, sanitizing, but it's also a fire starter. So there. A little mini flashlight, and it does work. Okay, that's in there. Then there's a couple of zippers here. I don't think I have anything in there right now. And actually, this pack isn't even full. So, oh, I have some, what do I have in here? Oh, I have some bank line in here and some prusik knots and some other little clips and shock cord and cord locks in there. That's in the little zipper thing there. So that's those 2 pockets there. Okay. All right. Then, well, on the back here, between the handle and the shoulder strap thing, there's a zipper here, and this is felt lined in here. You know, you could have your phone in here, or glasses, or things you don't want to get broke or scratched. What I have in here is things I want really quick or easy. I have a whistle, and usually there's a few things in here I usually put on me when I'm going to go for a hike. I'll put the whistle and compass around my neck. I always have a hat. Usually have a hiking stick or trekking pole also. But in here I have a whistle. Well, there's another whistle, and this one also has a thermometer on it. And it's not a real fancy one. It has a magnifying glass and yeah, a few different things on that. And my headlamp. I'm big on headlamps because if it gets dark, you can be wearing it and still hike. You don't have to hold a flashlight. But yeah, that's in there. Those 3 things I have in there, that's usually all I have in there. Another thing, and I might put it on this pack, is a belt, a waist strap with some little pouches, because then I can have things in there. I like that too. I had that on another pack because then you can put snacks and your compass, whistle, all that stuff in those pockets and actually get to them without taking the pack off. I like that. Not that this one is big enough to need a waist strap, but it would help and it would be nice. So I'll probably end up doing that, putting one on here. So yeah. Okay, so now let's do the front admin pouch in the front here. And this zips all the way open, but I don't like to zip it all the way open because I don't want stuff to fall out. This has really good zippers on it, by the way, popping at me here. Okay, so in here, I got a couple of snack bars. And I got a dry bag just for, collecting tinder, or if you want to hang your food up, at night or whatever. I got some Kleenex, Gorilla Tape, a whole roll. Why not? Because you can use it for repair or fire starting. I like multi-use items, and I got a lot of those. Then I have an orange bandana. I'm big on bandanas too. I got 2 or 3 or 4 in here, but besides the one in my pocket. This one's kind of cool. Has all kinds of paws and footprint things and directional things and survival and safety things, all kinds of stuff on there. Cool bandana. And I got this the other day. It's a card game, and it's like in a little backpack. Again, this is for fun. It's not just survival, or it's for just having fun in the outdoors. It's an outdoor card game, packed up. So we haven't even played it yet. So I'll maybe play that with my wife tonight. Well, yeah, kind of neat. Little card game in there. Okay, then I have some baggies. I have different size baggies. You never know. And actually, I have some freezer bags in here. Are they freezer bags or oven bags? And actually, you can put snow in there and let the sun melt it. And you can like purify water. Nope. Because if it's wintertime, you shouldn't eat snow. You should melt it for water. So yeah, there's that. A little bottle of Ben's 100% DEET bug spray. I don't really like to hike in the summer because it's too hot and muggy and buggy, but if I did, That's nice to have. A little mini roll of toilet paper. When my wife and I go hiking, I usually put a full roll in there because, yeah, one time I had to give her my bandana because we didn't have any toilet paper, and then, yeah, she got me a new one though. Anyway, so there's that. And most importantly, here's my med kit, first aid kit, whatever you want to call it, like call it a med kit. And there's that red cross again. It matches that one. And so I have that in here. I'm not going to take anything out, but I'll let you know. This is only like a few ounces, but it has a ton of stuff in here, y'all. I know, do whatever you want to do. And a lot of people say, oh, all you need is some Tylenol and Band-Aids, you know, boo-boo kit, you know. Well, you don't know what's going to happen in the woods. You could get really hurt. Yeah, if you're majorly hurt, you got to get help. But you can do what you can. Maybe somebody else is hurt and you can help them. Why not have a good kit? I mean, at least have some basic stuff. So I have a lot in here. I have bandages, Band-Aids, bandages, gauze, and a couple different kinds of tape in here. I got a cold press thing in here. I got the blood, what do you call it? The blood clot stop thing, whatever they call it. Some of those in here. Scissors and a tweezer. I have another lighter in here. I have a mirror in here. You know, I have meds again. I got Tylenol, Ibuprofen, Nyquil, Pepcid, Benadryl, all those. I got a bunch of ointments in here. I got bee sting and snake bite stuff and sunburn stuff. Tons of stuff in here, and it's not that big and it's not that heavy. Why not? And this is kind of a neat little pouch. Again, all different kinds of pouches. This one I got at a truck stop, and yeah, it has Molly on here, so it's like the same kind of thing, but you know, and yeah, I got a lot of stuff in here, and I even have a guide in here. I got an emergency blanket in here. I got hand warmers. You know what? It's good to have a good med kit so you could help yourself or help somebody else. So there's that. And I have a tourniquet. I think everybody should have a tourniquet, and you should know how to use this stuff too. Okay, there's more in here I'm not going to take out. I got 4 tent stakes in here, even though you could make tent stakes if you have time. It's fun to make your own, but I got 4 in here. I got a couple of pens, a couple of markers. I got some things to read, you know, just like Backcountry Survival Guide, Backyard Birds of North America, Common Mushrooms. You know, I have, I always talk about these. It's a lid from a can. Put that under your little stoves and stuff. Works great. I like to have those. Pocket Guide to Animal Tracks. You know, just stuff to read if you have some downtime or if you're camping or whatever. Another notepad. Pocket Emergency First Aid Guide. That actually I should put in my med kit. More hand warmers. 2 more emergency blankets. You know, this is for fun, okay? This is for just hiking and short little hikes and just rambling in the woods and just having some fun. But you know, for emergency and survival, I got a lot. Why not? You know, it doesn't take up much, and it's just kind of fun to have. So I'm not going to put all that back in there right now, but come on. Good night. Okay, before we get to the main part, well, there's 2 ratchet cinch buckle things on the side or whatever. And before we get to the inside, I'll show you real quick. Right here, there's a hidden compartment. Okay. And it's a CCW. It's a hidden compartment where you can have a weapon if you do. I don't carry. I don't do that. Maybe someday, but nah. But I have a better weapon in here. This is where I have my Bible. So I have my Bible in there. So I like to have God's Word with me, a little Bible. And that's kind of Velcro closed, and so that looks nice. Okay, on the outside I have some carabiners, some pretty heavy duty ones. And I have a little a flashlight on a carabiner here. So yeah, I like to have extras of those. Okay, we're gonna open up and start from the top, and basically I have things that I would want first or more often on the top. Not really heavy to lightest. Again, I go real short hikes, so it's not a big deal. Keep the fire going here, but I'm not gonna add any more wood. Oh gosh, wish I had a steak. Got a steak on there. I got some good coals going. Okay, right on top, I have a couple things that I would wear on me, probably on the shoulder straps. I have a spot messenger. If you can have one of those, they're really good to have. You know, you can push your button and SOS and help will come. Send messages to your spouse or family or friends. That's good to have. Thank you, Jeremiah, again for giving me that. And then I have a little pocket walkie-talkie, and I have it taped so I don't accidentally turn it on because I've done that before. Just for another emergency communication thing. And so then I have another bandana on here, woodland camo, and then I have a do-rag here, and this is, I don't know what camo this is. Kind of like my hat though. I don't know, kind of clashing here, I know, but have those. And then I have a pair of leather gloves on top for processing wood, for handling hot stuff in the fire. Good to have gloves. And then I have a 30-foot ridge line already set up where I can just put it between two trees to put a tarp up, you know, set up a camp. And I have prusik knots on here already, so that's kind of neat. That's already set up. And then on top here I have my fire kit, one of my most important favorite kits. Neat little woodland camo one here. I've had different ones, I have different ones, but this is my fire kit. And this has a lot of different things in here. So I have 2 lighters, a ferro rod, a magnesium bar, stormproof, waterproof, windproof matches. I have a mirror. I have a little bellows for blowing the fire. I have some solid fuel tabs, 2 candles. So yeah, a lot of different ways to start a fire. It's just kind of fun, and it's just fun to try different things. But like I always say, if it's emergency, just use the lighter. Don't sit and try to learn bushcraft skills if it's emergency and you need heat or signal for help. And that's the thing. There's like, I have like 10 things for reasons why it's important to be able to start a fire. See if I remember them. Warmth, light, signal for help, dry clothes, keep the bugs away, keep bears away or animals. You can purify water, you can make coffee and other drinks, you can cook food, and it's a morale booster. If you're lost in the woods, start a fire. That's the first thing I would do. Start a fire for warmth and light and everything. Keep a fire going all night long. It's important to be able to start a fire. So, but if it's emergency or if you just want it quick, just use your lighter. You know, and if you do have time, yeah, try other ways and save the lighter for emergency. And then here's another one. This is OD Green. Again, there's all different kinds of camo. These are military surplus. Great gear, and they're really good deals. It's just really fun. I think this might be, I don't know if this is a mini first aid thing or if it's for a hand grenade. I don't know. But this is my tinder pouch. So I have a lot of tinder in here. Tons of tinder in here. I have my favorite, which is birch bark. And then I have some fat wood in here. I have some wood shavings in here. I have some dryer lint, which is another really good one. I have some cotton balls with like Vaseline or whatever, and I got some with wax. I got some little fire starters I made with dryer lint and duct tape and wax. I got a couple more candles, and I got some more solid fuel, and I have a little bottle of heat, you know, denatured alcohol. So yeah, a bunch of ways to start a fire. But I try not to touch this. So what I do is if I'm going to start a fire, look for tinder. If it's not an emergency, look for tinder and keep this for emergency. So that's what I like to do. Okay, and then I have my coffee kit, which right now, basically, it's my canteen and this. This is a mug, and in here I have coffee, real coffee, ground coffee. And I think I have Seattle's Best in right here right now with a little mini stir spoon that I carved. Are we still going here? I can't see how much time we are, but hopefully we're going to be under an hour. I was going to be under a half hour, but yeah, probably not going to happen. But that's basically my coffee kit, a mug, coffee, and a spoon, in tandem with my Canteen Kit, which I'll show you next. Here's my Canteen Kit. I love this thing. My favorite way to carry water, and actually sometimes I'll carry this on my belt, and then it's a couple pounds less in my pack. And it has Alice straps on here. I think this is a Vietnam era pouch. I got a Nalgene 1 liter canteen cup in here full of water. I always start with at least a liter of water when I go for a hike. In the little pocket here I got a little mini Bic, some aqua tabs, and a couple more solid fuel tabs. And this has a canteen cup in it, a canteen stove, and a lid for the canteen. So this is great for purifying water, making a coffee, cooking, whatever. So this in that mug, that's kind of, you know, we can do a lot with. Okay, then I have a pouch here of just some emergency meals, basically. I usually have snack bars in here and in here and stuff in my pockets. But in here I got, well, I got instant coffee. I got some different teas. I got a salmon packet, a tuna packet. I got a couple more snack bars. I got some beef jerky, trail mix, and some bullion, chicken and beef bullion. So a whole bunch of emergency meals. You know, again, this is just day hikes. It's way overkill, but it's fun. It's just fun to carry stuff. I like it. You be you. So here's another cool pouch here. Another woodland camo. Woodland camo is my favorite. I really like this one. This one is filled with cordage. So this is part of my shelter kit. So I showed you my canteen kit, my coffee kit. This is part of my shelter kit. And I got tons of paracord in here and bank line. I like bank line probably better than paracord, but I got both. And I got some jute twine in there, a whole bunch, probably 100 feet total. So a lot of that in there. And then this is my possibles kit. And this is another neat little pouch. And I think this woodland camo, I think it kind of matches. Look, you can't see it. It's blended into me. Or not woodland camo. This is multicam. This is multicam. So is this, I think. I don't know. I kind of don't know them all. There's been all kinds of different camos through the years in the military. It's interesting. I was watching a video on that the other day. Anyway, this is my possibles kit. And I've had bigger ones, but I got a smaller one right now in here. Anything that's possible I would need that's not in other kits. So in here, again, I'm not going to take everything out, but I got a charging bank out here and the cords. I got a knife sharpener and a knife sharpening stone. I got a toothbrush, which I don't get into hygiene too much when you're going for a hike. Even if you're out for overnight, not a big deal, but I got a toothbrush. I have a sewing kit in here. I have a whole fishing kit in here. I can make a fishing rod and fish. I got another ferro rod in here and another lighter. And I got some bigger candles in here. Yeah, lots of other things in here. I got some more carabiners and other solid fuel tabs. So yeah, that's my possibles kit. So yeah, kind of neat. Okay, then I have a strop in here, and I think I might actually cut this down smaller, but this is a strap for stropping my knife. So I have that. Okay, now we're getting down to more of the my shelter kit. I got my hammock, and this has tree straps and carabiners in here. And then I have a military surplus poncho, and this is a big poncho, woodland camo again. And you could actually make this into a shelter, you know. So I have my hammock, I have the cordage, and poncho, and I'm not going to take it out, but I have a 6x8 reflective tarp in here. It's green on one side and silver on the other side. So all that together, you can make a pretty good little shelter. Yeah, and then in here in the back, I also have a shamag, which is like a bandana, only bigger. And then here's my cook kit. This is multicam again. I like multicam. Multicam and Woodland are my favorite. Well, I like OD green too. But so in here I have, again, I'm not going to take it all out. It's just too big. This is a 1 liter GSI pot. And I also have, and I just think that works good because you can do like bigger meals. You can still, if you're doing the backpacker meals, which I don't really like those, rather take like military surplus MREs or something. I'd rather take real food if we're gonna cook and eat in the woods. But I like the pot like this, kind of like a billy can, but this is a GSI 1 liter, and I put a bail on it too. Plus it has a handle. But you can make soup or stew or chili, anything, and yeah, and you could even fry in it. But when I'll show you something else I have when show you the options. But yeah, so it's a pot. And I have some oil in here, some olive oil. I have some salt and pepper. I have some seasoning. And I have, oh, that's right. I have get it out here. I have a little canister stove here. And in the bottom of the can is a canister, a small canister. And then I have a fire can in here, which is like a firebox, only it's a soup can, but you can have a wood fire in it. I love that. And then I have a pot stand in there. And I have an alcohol stove in there, and I have solid fuel tabs in there. I have a scrubby in there. I have a spoon in there. I have a can opener. So I have 3 ways to cook, really. I have the canister stove, I have solid fuel, and I have alcohol stove. So I have 3 different ways. And you can do a wood fire. So I have 4 ways to cook, or to make coffee, or to purify water and that kind of stuff. So that's my cook kit. And that's getting down there. On the bottom, I have some heavy-duty Walmart bags just to have. And these are the huge, I don't know what they are, 3-4 mil. They're really thick, heavy-duty contractor bags. They're gigantic. They're like 6-7 feet long, 8 feet long, big. And you could use these to build a shelter. You could fill them with leaves for a bed. I mean, there's so many things you could. It's another layer of warmth, you know, if it's cold or whatever. I got 3 of them in there because they don't have any weight and they don't take up any space. So I got 3 of those on the bottom. Just good to have. I think that's it in there. Here's my notepad that my friend Frankie made me. He put Marty's Ramblings on it, and then the Psalm 27 scripture on the back. So it's a notepad and pen. It's leather. Really cool. It's got scroll saws on there, and praying hands and a cross, and Marty's Ramblings. Thanks again, Frankie. That's so cool. Yeah, and then up here I have a piece of leather, just for holding things, for working on. If I'm carving, it's just nice to have a piece of leather. And then I have a little hook knife. This is my small one. I have a bigger one in my carving kit for carving spoons and stuff. This is a small one my friend Robert gave me. Thanks again, Robert. I keep that one in here. And a long spoon I carved, and an eating pick that I carved. Don't really need a fork. I don't know. I just like those. Again, a lot of the stuff I hardly ever use. I spend more time putting together backpacks and kits and just reorganizing and planning, making DIY things. Spend more time doing that than actually using stuff. Someday maybe I'll have more time, but a couple more things. We're almost done here. There's 2 pockets. They're almost hidden on the side here, which are pretty big. You could actually put water bottles in them. But on the side here, I have a folding saw. So I like to carry a saw and a knife for processing wood and all that stuff. So I have a folding saw, and then I have a bunch of zip ties on that side. And then on this side, the same one. It's like almost like a hidden compartment on here. On this side, I got my knife. This is my K-bar knife. And I usually have a more on my belt too. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything in my pack. I think that's all my kits and all the stuff I have in there. For a day hike, for just enjoying the outdoors. I'm going to show you a few options here real quick. So yeah, my fire kit, med kit, canteen kit, cook kit, shelter kit, nutrition kit, coffee kit, possible kit. That's my main ones, and then all the other things in there. A few options. Well, I usually have bear spray on my belt. Okay. Again, I have a lot of things on me. If I wanted more water, or my wife and I are doing something, we're going for a longer hike, I like the Nalgene bottles, or we'll just bring regular, water bottles or whatever. But one of these in the pack has extra water, or 2 of them, whatever. So that works good. If I really am getting into cast iron pans, I really am liking these. And this is a new one my wife got me, so I haven't tried it yet. So we're hoping we're going to get time to do that. We're going to actually cook some brats today for lunch later today. But yeah, it's a lot of weight, yes, but it's the best way to cook on a fire. So that's something that I can put in my pack too. Then I have these, and I have 2 of these. Got them at military surplus. I think they're $4 or $5 each. Now, again, they're woodland camo. These are cool. This one actually is an extra food pack. And again, it has the MOLLE straps on here, so I can put it on the side of the pack. I can put one on each side, okay, or on the front, whatever I want to do. This one has extra food. This has MREs in it. It has a backpacker meal. It has some ramen packets, and it has a small frying pan, just a lightweight frying pan. So an extra food kit I can add to the pack. It'll go onto the side of the pack. This one, it's going to be a longer day or colder. This has extra clothes. So this has a extra pair of wool socks and a long sleeve shirt and a rain jacket, just to have extra clothing. So that's another thing you can do. This is another multicam. This is a shovel or entrenching tool. This could be put on the front, you know, or the side or whatever. And if it's going to be, whoa, hello. I put this together. It's kind of fun. If you want to do a big camp, a longer camp or whatever, like if my wife and I were going to actually camp somewhere, backpack in, or I don't know if we'd ever do that. I mean, I'm almost 60, she's almost 65, but maybe someday I could see us maybe driving into a campground and then hiking, you know, 100 feet into the woods and setting up camp or something, but you never know. But if we want to do a bigger one, this can go on the bottom of the pack. There's a way to strap this on the bottom of the pack. And this has a 10 by 12 heavy duty tarp, and it's woodland camo. It's just one from Harbor Freight. And it has a wool blanket in here. And it has I think it's an 8 by 8 like a floor, what do you call it? Like you put under a tent or under a tarp or whatever. So there's more shelter. You can set up a bigger camp. That could go, so this could go under my pack. I could attach it, you know, and I could add these other things to the sides. So there's lots of options, you know. Yeah, you can have more clothes and food, wool blanket, bed rolls, entrenching tool, analogy bottles, a hatchet. Sometimes I'll take a hatchet. Usually I don't carry it in my backpack, but you know, you could have a weather radio, you know, you could have a weapon and ammo for self-defense or hunting or whatever. You could, yeah. And so, yeah, you know, that's basically my day pack, all around pack, for hiking, bushcraft, camping, outdoor adventures, emergency, survival. And, yeah, again, everybody's different. So that's just what I like, and it's just kind of fun. I like all the different military surplus stuff, and yeah, it can be kind of heavy sometimes, but not considering what I have in here. It's not too heavy, and it feels great on my back. So yeah. So I'm gonna try to put all of this in the description. If you're just wondering, if you have any comments, please comment. I like talking back and forth. That's what makes it fun. And let me know, is there things that you wouldn't carry? Is there things that I'm missing that you carry? Again, it's just all fun. I don't use half of it most of the time, but it's there if I need it, and it's just kind of fun to have everything you would need on your back. And yeah, sometimes you think, oh, I'm just going to go out in the woods with a knife and a whatever, a poncho, and see if you can survive. Yeah, but you won't be real comfortable. But that's part of bushcraft, building things and, you know, learning how to live outdoors and understanding all the different things you could build things out of and eat and wild edibles, and, you know, learning about bugs and animals and nature, and that's God's creation. That's fun too. But I just like to be prepared. So it's just kind of fun. Again, I hardly ever get a hike, but when I do, I enjoy it. And when I like to put my pack on, and I've been putting it on every day now, because I put it on even just for a walk. But anyway, that's what's in my pack 2026. So please, yeah, let me know what you think. Comment. Please give this a like and subscribe and all that stuff. Watch my other videos. I got over 700 adventures, if you enjoy. Anyway, yeah, pray you're all doing well. I think that's all I wanted to say on this little ramble. I don't know what time we're at. I'm going to go look in a second here. Hopefully we're under an hour. Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.